Hello, happy weekend. I'm Joseph. Welcome to the Kilt Beard Company Weekend Flex. And today we are starting off the weekend right. We're going to try some Russell's Reserve, 10-year of course. Russell Reserve really doesn't do anything under 10 years, which I really appreciate. I think that bourbon type whiskey, the sweet spot is between 10 and 15, 10 and 16 years right there. And yeah, hope you all having a great weekend. Or hope you guys all had a great week and you're about to have a great weekend. And yeah, this is some good stuff right here. Big camera, small camera. It has a wonderful amber color, as you can tell. So some people ask why I use this glass sometimes. Well, I use it so I can get more smells in better and get my nose around the smells, or the scents, however you want to say it. Switch it around. Cheers. Really good bourbon. It's rich. Got some spice in there, caramel, and some vanilla flavors too. I think what I'm starting to learn with whiskeys and bourbons and everything like that, whatever their taste profiles are, if you can't smell it and taste it on the first 3 to 5 sips, it under-delivers for me. And I've been figuring this out for coffee too. If you have not seen our KILTBEARDCO, A Cup with Joe and Dakota on Sundays, check it out. We're really starting to, to increase our depth and of palate and expectations of coffees and whiskeys and everything. And this is one that really nails it, especially for a 10-year. Really good, $50, 90 proof alcohol. It's really one of those surprises, not surprised at the price point, but a surprise as far as kind of edging out the expectation of what a bourbon should be, in my opinion. And like I said, that baseline is really the first 3 to 5 sips. You have to start tasting the flavors that they're going for. If it's the oak barrel or whatever, orange, vanilla, citrus, whatever the case may be. The first 3 to 5 sips, you should be able to smell, taste, combo those together, and start to enjoy it and get the full expectation of that liquor, or of that whiskey, excuse me. Same thing. But so the aroma, as it's described, it has orange peel and citrus with notes of butterscotch, maple, oak, and vanilla. It says that it tastes like caramel and spices and all these vanillas and everything like that. I got that right off the bat. And that's not just because I've already have tasted this before, last week when I was hanging out with Dakota, but it's still relevant as it was then. At first, we were like, it's a bourbon. Second taste, this might be good. Third taste, okay, this is actually really good. And then half a bottle later, yeah, it was pretty good. So that was a long night. But nonetheless, really good and great for conversations. It's great. It really doesn't burn or anything like that. And I know the burn is in the eye of the beholder, how much you drink and how much alcohol, etc. like that. Add water to it. I understand all that, but just for me, it's one of those, you get all the flavors, very minimal burn to no burn, and it's very welcoming. So the finish is smooth and sweet, and that's what I expect from a bourbon at least. I really get more of the spices, but also my palate in general for foods, etc. like that, really gravitate around different spices. And I can pick out that 15th spice in a dish or something. So I'm really good at that. And yeah, this really delivers. So a little bit more about Russell's. So I believe, if I'm, please don't hold me 100% towards this because I might get it wrong, but I believe they're part of the Wild Turkey family as far as the company. But anyways, they started out as a family, the Russells, to basically make the best bourbon that they possibly can. And they age their whiskeys at least 10 years. So 10 years is the minimum that you're going to find from Russell's. This one particular right here, won the Gold Tag Award, Gold in 2022, and it was the gold. It got gold for the Spirits Business American Whiskey Masters in 2022. It is a really delicious bourbon that really covers all fields. It's got the sweet, it's got the spicy, it's got the vanilla, and it's got a little bit of a citrus twist, if you want to call it that. So really good. If you haven't tried Russell's, I highly recommend. For $50, it's well worth it. You're getting your money's worth. Also, it looks like it makes a good cocktail mixer also from their website. And yeah, so if you're in for a new one and you haven't tried Russell's before, highly recommend it. There's a couple other cool things that I found really neat about their process. So I'm going to kind of read this verbatim so I don't misspeak. But so two cool insights about the process of making this, or their whiskeys in general. So the water for their whiskey is sourced from the Kentucky River and is naturally filtered through limestone, removing iron and other impurities. Russell's Reserve is distilled to a lower ABV, which means less water is added before barreling, resulting in a robust whiskey. I think they nail it right there. You can honestly just tell on that. And I think it helps get more breadth to hit the whole spectrum of what you expect from a whiskey. And it has good taste. It takes time, according to them, and I agree with them. Though the legal aging requirement for Kentucky straight bourbon is 2 years, we wait a minimum of 10 years for Russell's Reserve 10-year-old bourbon to mature, and 6 years for their rye. And the other cool thing that I looked in there, and so I know this because I've been trying to study this. I'm trying to get my bourbon professional whiskey certification. Just one of those side things I've been trying to work towards. Whenever I have a moment, have 10 minutes to read a page or two, I'm trying to dig in that book and do that. But that's a side note. But the center cut. So when it comes to making Russell's Reserve, it can't be overstated the importance of barrel selection, which is really an art. And the Russell family has mastered this for over years. And in case you don't know, in the States, they can only use these barrels one time. So the vast majority of the world's barrels that come from the States, they come from the States because by U.S. law, they can only use the barrel one time. So it can't be reused. So it could be in your next Scotch, it could be in your next wine, it could be your next Irish whiskey. It's something around the world. These barrels get reused because in the States here, we require these distillers to only use the barrel one time. But continue on. We start with the center cut, which is the middle floors or 3 to 5 of their 7-story rick house. So in case you don't know, in the rick houses, or basically to dumb it down more, the place where they store barrels so that they can age, there are many interactions that come into this. Heat, cold, moisture, elevation, the dryness, and if I didn't miss anything, all these things do affect what comes in your cup or your glass or whatever you want to call it. It is really important for many of these distillers to get this part right. I believe, like being up here in Utah, in Park City, since we're higher in elevation than like Kentucky, for example, their aging process, I think they mentioned, and I could be wrong on this, it was 1.7 years to every 1 year at sea level, something like that. So what takes 10 years potentially at sea level may only take about 5.5, 6 years in higher elevation, for example. So that is one thing that plays in. Moisture plays in. Heat and moisture, humidity. Because what really happens is the oxygen and the elements will evaporate a lot of what's in the barrel, and the longer it's in there, the less that's typically going to be in the barrel, which the older it is, which creates a higher price point. Doesn't necessarily mean 100%, excuse me, 100% that it's going to be better than like a 10-year. 25-year doesn't mean, 50-year bottle doesn't mean it's going to be better than a 10. On the basis, it just means that in that barrel or barrels that were part of that group, only so much of the barrel was left, so it's so rare from that selection, which will bring up the price most times. But most times, you can find a damn good whiskey under $50, and be completely happy and not be much removed if you were to go up any higher than a few $100s. Now, there's many exceptions. There's awesome distillers, companies, etc. out there that are the exception to the rule. But by and large, that 10 to 15 years is really a great sweet spot for you to consider, us to consider, when selecting our favorite spirits here. But yeah, so really cool, good, highly recommend. If you're on the weekend and you see some Russells, I would try it. I believe they have a 16-year that I was reading about. If I could see that, I would definitely like to try that. I think that would be a real treat, especially if that builds upon this and really lets a few of those notes really expand and just mature. I think it would be a real treat. However, yeah. What do you think of Russells? Have you tried it? I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Do you use it as a mixer? What are your best mixes? I can't talk today. However, I just wish to say cheers. Turn my camera off here. So I use my GoPro for my second camera. I gotta charge this thing, so I'll apologize 1 second. And I'll charge that later on. Camera's gonna toast you too. But yeah, great whiskey. Highly recommend it. Yeah, what are you drinking tonight? Well, I'd love to hear what you guys are drinking. Maybe you got some new recommendations for next week. I'd love to hear it. Maybe I'll go out there and get it if they have it out here in Utah, which sometimes the selection can be very selective. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys are drinking. So what's on the wrist today? So today I am wearing my Detroit watch, 1701 chrono exhibition on a bracelet. And here's the camera. Made in the States, Detroit, Michigan. And the case back, if you can see the case back, it's actually really pretty for this price point. Beautiful watch. They're only making 100 of these. I have a number 37 out of 100. I've had it for a year, and what I found is that the bracelet is super comfortable, and it's hard to make comparisons because you're comparing a micro brand to like an established Omega or even a Seiko, the higher end Seikos or Rolex and watches like that. It looks kind of cheapish, but the material is strong and it is super comfortable. I do like another thing here, and I think so it's not on this one. Well, no, it is. So on the strap, the blue strap that you'll see in the picture here, it has the quick releases on there, which is really cool. I mentioned last week, I think all watches should have quick releases for the straps. And I got this watch because I've always wanted a Moonphas watch, and I always just thought that having a Moonphas watch kind of puts you kind of like that rare air when it comes to horology and watches or timepieces in general. It is really a great watch to show. You can dress up and down with this. So I like to wear steel bracelets in the winter when it's cold. I don't know. I just think that they just fit and they support on my wrist a little better. I like to use natal straps and leather straps, things like that, in the spring and summer. And so yes, that's why I'm wearing the bracelet right now. But the blue is awesome. It looks really sharp, especially with the moon background of the moon calendar down there. And really minus the water resistance on this. It's only I believe it's only 5 bars, so 50 meters. If that was up to 100 or more, this could easily be a one and done watch, honestly, because you could put different straps on this and you can dress it up and dress it down however you want. and it would be waterproof. This one, you may be able to do dishes, get caught in the rain, take a shower with it, and potentially do just basic swimming. However, myself, I don't even jump in the shower with this one. I just think that it's not worth it. And as you can see here in the loom in the picture, it looks pretty cool in the loom. It actually does. It does exactly what you want to do for loom and doesn't overdo it. And there's a lot of, what would I say, nuggets in this watch. Every time you look at it, like, oh, what does that mean? Or why is that there? Or that's really a cool idea. So they put a lot of thought in this watch, and they even gave me a drawing to go with the watch, which I thought was really cool. That was not expected. That's just one of those gifts that they gave. I don't know if they give that out to everybody, or if this is just because this was a limited edition amount of watches. However, just in general, great watch. Push buttons are awesome, and listen to the push buttons. It's really cool. So you know it's click in, then you stop it, and it goes all the way back up. So the push buttons are awesome. They're not super quiet. You're not sure if you actually push it down all the way. It lets you know. It's very interactive, and really just a cool watch. You should check them out. Detroit Watch Company, great guys over there. They do respond very well. Great customer service. You can see their passion. They got a few more watches out there coming right now this spring that were just brought out, and my wife is kind of hinting at me. She likes the turquoise strapped one, but that remains to be seen if we're going to do that. We do have our anniversary coming up here in March, so we'll see. You never know what happens. But I like micro brands because they push the boundaries, and pushing the boundaries is what can create an established brand. And I believe that when these brands or a brand is putting their one foot in front of the other and just slowly but surely making those adjustments, creating their own niche, carving out their own little piece of the pie, once they're established, they can start to gain more of that pie, if you will. Some people will say, bracelet strap, NATO strap, leather strap. I always say it depends on what watch you're wearing, for what occasion you're wearing it for, what you're doing, and what type of watch you have. So it's not a done deal. There are some people that will say that they only like NATO straps on their watches. In my opinion, when I hear something like that, that means they usually only have one type of watch. When I hear people that say I only wear it on a bracelet, usually it's more of a sport watch. I really don't think of like a dress watch too often. Although you got the Tank Cartier and you got the bracelets and all these other expensive brands, but I think more sport watch when I sit here. I just wear it on the bracelet. When I hear a person say that they wear it on a leather strap, that usually will say, yeah, you like to accessorize, or you will dress up and down your watch. It just tells me a little bit more depth of what you have when it comes to watches. That's just me. I can be totally off in my own world, and I'm okay with that, by the way. But I really recommend playing around and enjoying your timepiece with a bracelet, with a NATO strap if it lets you do it, and a leather strap if it's possible. All depends on the situation, like I said, your wrist size, the occasion, the environment, what you're doing. All these things come into place. Some watches, you can only wear the metal bracelet. They don't offer a NATO strap for the size of it, or a leather strap, etc. So there are some restraints when it comes to that, but whenever you can, I'd try to accessorize your watch, try different things out, and have fun with it. I mean, once you start getting past the Casios and G-Shocks, which I have a G-Shock and I have a Casio, so there's nothing wrong with those. But once you get past those and you're spending some more money on your watches, you should be enjoying these things. These things are a work of art. Most watches, even the ones that are mass-produced, what it got to get to that point of mass production, there's a lot of artistic creativity that went into these watches. The idea for a watch to keep ticking just based on movement for years and years on end, and serves between 3 to 10 years, depending on the watch, the movement, and the activity with the watch. We're starting to get into some rare air of, you have a piece of art on your wrist and a mechanical engineering marvel that you carry around with you every day, and it becomes more appreciative when you start looking at it that way, and you start looking into the details and not following the crowd so much, but really going into your own lane, and as I usually like to say, and really trying to engage to what you like, so that you can tell the story of, I bought this watch, I got it from Christmas, and You know, it means this much for me because this is what happened during that Christmas or that next year or from a certain person, etc. like that. So, yes, Detroit Watch Company, check them out if you haven't. It's a micro brand that I have tried, I own, I use, and I definitely can give a thumbs up to them. They check all the boxes when it comes to a micro brand, in my opinion, and I think that you will not be sorry for trying them out. And by the way, this one right here, because I got both the metal and the leather strap, came to about $3,300, maybe a little bit less with tax. But if you just want to get the strap, it's a little bit less than $3,000. If you want to get the metal, I think it's at $3,000. So somewhere in that range is what you're going to be paying for this watch right here. Really get that vanilla and spice now. It's really good. So quick ask, if you could, you like this content, you want to support the channel, all you have to do is just subscribe, give a like, comment if you would love to. We'd love to hear your feedback, your thoughts, to make this content better, to make me better, to help you guys be awesome. I would really appreciate it. So, you know, jumping in this, I'm going to be talking more about beard stuff today. And I got a lot of beard things going on besides just running the beard business, which I would like to call a beard lifestyle business someday in the future. But we can call it that right now. So, what should I talk about here? So, I'm going to start with some business updates. There's a lot going on, and you can see where the wheelhouse is going and what we're doing to try to help the bearded man just have a more interesting beard, more sophisticated beard, or have their beard make a statement. And so right now we're working on our core bundles. So core bundles are going to be a beard oil, beard balm, and beard butter. So you're going to have the Dapper Gentleman core bundle. You're going to have the Outdoor Bivouac core bundle. You're going to have the Breaking Beard core bundle and the Beard Elixir core bundle. So those will just be like a quick click buy, good to go. Now, there's going to be two options that will be coming this way. It'll be a mix and match options. So mix and match oils, and hint, right now we have 4 beard oils right now, but we have 4 more on the way in our heritage line. So it's going to create a nice little optional flow. If you want to mix and match, like get an everyday breaking beard, but you want to have 2 heritage ones, you can do that now. And just, you know, you just build your own bundle basically. We're also going to do that for balms too. So you're going to be able to mix and match oils and mix and match balms. And the way that we're trying to do it is, if you buy 3, you save. You buy 4 or more, you save even more. So we really want to help you, help us, help your beard at the same time. Get everything that it wants and needs so that it can look its best. So as far as what is it? So we'll be adding. So we will be adding add-on features here in the next few months. So look out for those. We'll be talking about those more when they come about. So I'm excited about those. It kind of helps spread the word of the brand. It gives you some cool swag and or things that you can use in everyday life. And I think that those are going to be very welcoming. And I'm actually really excited for it. So we'll see how that all goes, but more to come. So social media feed. So we are going to add our Instagram feed to the bottom of our site to continue, so we can continue the discussion. We will be introducing a blog that will be a beard related, YouTube related, which will include right now what we're watching, the Weekend Flex, and a Cup of Joe and Dakota related. So we'll kind of tie you in, keep you updated what's going on if you miss an episode, or if you want to spread the word, somebody can go and kind of get everything at one place. So I'll keep an eye on the blog. We'll also be integrating some of the blog stuff into this like we did last week. We're just really trying to personalize this communication, this community as much as possible. And also a weekly newsletter. So this will, and I'm working on this, this is really in its infancy. I'm hoping March 1st, got a lot of stuff going on, so it might be pushed to March 3rd. But March 1st to launch this newsletter, which will come out once a week. So it'll be free to sign up, no obligation. You can unsubscribe at any time you want. We're talking about beard stuff, products, opportunities, and everything like that. So I think it's going to be really fun. Between a 2 to 5 minute read, nothing crazy for a whole week, just to really continue to keep the engagement going. And we would love for you to sign up for it. And I'll leave that link down at the bottom of this. So feel free to sign up. I'm not going to troll you or anything like that. It's going to come out once a week, and I just want to stay connected. And then we also have March 1st and 2nd, the Utah Off-Road Expo here in Utah at the Southtown Convention Center. So we're going to be there for 2 days. So if you're down there, I would love you to interact with us, say hi. We're going to be, fingers crossed, if the labels come in, they're in print right now, in time, we're going to front and center our Heritage collection, all 4 bottles. Also, we are going to have our outdoor bivouac front and center. Get us prepared for that spring, because those bugs are coming and they're going to be flying all around our face, getting up all in that beard and everything. And your beard needs protection too. So outdoor bivouac is a must if you're an outdoorsman or a farmer, anywhere outdoors for an extended amount of time. You want to extend a little bit more and enjoy it a little bit more. Outdoor bivouac is definitely something for your beard that you should be considering. And yeah, so that'll bring me to a Cup with Joe and Dakota on 3rd. We are going to go live on that one. So let the chaos continue, and it's going to be fun. Chaos is growing, but we got a lot going on here in the next 10 less days. So keep an eye out for all these cool things on our website, social media, blog, newsletter. If you're in Utah, stop on by. Jump into our live with Dakota and I as we take you through a new roaster. We're going to be going through California. That's not even out yet. You guys heard it here first. So we got 4 roasters lined up from California that we're going to go through, and also talk about our random topics that you don't find in the mainstream media that are very interesting, conversation worthy, that you can take back to your friends and family at the same time, and you can interact with us too. So that'll be really fun. So, and I'll say so like that because I'm from the Midwest. I catch myself sometimes, but so KILT Beard Co. So I had a great chat with a blue-collar bearded, what you can find his YouTube channel where he discusses a small batch of beard oils from around the country, and I will leave his handle in my description down below. So check him out. Really cool dude. I chatted with him for almost about an hour, so that was a good chat. And so in our discussion, we hit on many points that we at KILT Beard Co. have intentionally done with the product, from natural ingredients to the labeling to the presentation when you open it, and there's still more to come on that. That's just in the beginning stages. We have a lot of cool ideas for that. We're trying to do things that your typical big company or small company don't usually do. They don't give that TLC touch when you get your product. And it's not always just about, like this coaster here that I have my drink on, like a coaster, which, by the way, does come in definite handy. But it's just the small things of, presenting the ingredients on the label. Nothing to hide behind, exactly what you put in your beard, what's absorbing into your skin. Also, the packaging, it's not made from your Kinko's store, and it's not really like knocking that down or anything, because we all are at our own point. But the point I'm trying to make is that we really try to pay attention to go fast enough to challenge ourselves, but go slow enough to make sure that we're trying to do everything that we can think about at that moment correctly for the customer. And that's one thing that I really enjoyed in our conversation, that he touched on a lot of points that we have really thought really hard about, and it is great to hear it from a non-biased person on the other side of the country, different demographic of the country. This guy travels all around, and to hear that feedback was actually, it really made my day. So it was awesome. So thank you, sir. But then also in the conversation, it really brought up a interesting thing that I don't think we have completely engaged the audience about yet. And a part of that starts with, so we provide like natural beard products that fit the beard lifestyle. That's kind of the very shallow, the neutral area where we begin our pitch. So we do this with natural and organic ingredients, with all essential oils, and no fragrances. To us, it's all about the beard health. And we I think as men, sometimes we read the label. If it doesn't hurt us or go bad on us, it's okay. It works. And we take it from the perspective that your beard matters, the health of your beard matters, the way it looks, and the way it feels, nice and soft, not like a scrub brush, of coarse scrub brush, nothing like that. And he mentioned something, and I appreciate this observation that our ingredients and scents are based on essential oils and all organic ingredients with no fragrances. And this is on purpose. We feel like you can't eat a salad and have a Coca-Cola and say that you're on a diet, or even a Diet Coke. You say that you're on a diet. That doesn't make sense. So why have great ingredients, carrier oils, than have fragrances that are basically chemicals that dilute basically all the good stuff you're putting in your beard and on your skin? To me, that's counterproductive, and we really want to have this core, as we call it, purposeful core of oils. And I'm going to go through them a little bit. And if you want to fast forward, I completely understand. But I think it's important for this messaging because it's different than all the other beard oils that you will typically have. I can't account for every beard oil out on the market. There's a lot out there. But for what I can see, at the core, being all organic or all natural and with essential oils is an all or nothing thing, in our opinion. And we do this with breaking beard oil. So it's an everyday beard oil with 12 oils to bring nutrients to any and all beard types. And when I say any and all beard types, I mean any and all beard types. There's a lot of niches for certain, like the ethnicity of people, to different beard types, color types, things like that. This one is meant to engage with all beard and skin types. Now, if you have a genetic thing, etc. like that, that's completely different. But as far as your typical beard, no matter what your skin type is, or if you have beard drift or itchy dandruff beard, or whatever the case may be, this beard oil is going to give you the nutrients, the vitamins, and the necessary goodness that your beard just craves, that probably it doesn't get on a daily basis if you use a product with maybe 3 to 5 oils in that beard oil. Breaking beard oil is one of those beard oils that your beard just really needs, honestly. And that's why it's called an everyday beard oil. A beard elixir, a beard oil, is for those who want to rid beard drift. Or if they exert themselves as like a frontline professional, an athlete, a person who CrossFits, strongman competition, strong training, things like that. If you do more of the extremes and you have a beard trail runner, hiker, etc. like that, beard elixir is especially for you. It'll keep you moisturized. Everything in that beard oil is made to just moisturize your beard, and the peppermint, lavender, and grapefruit give you some fresh, uplifting smells, and opens up your sinuses and everything like that. So it's a very positive vibe when you have this beard oil. Then we have Dapper Gentleman. Dapper Gentleman has those aphrodisiacs that provide fast-absorbing nutrients that nourish, provide shine, and a scent that invites a companion to come a little bit closer. And most people, when they read sandalwood and rosewood on the label, they're like, roses? Like, huh? But when it mixed with patchouli, lang lang, sandalwood, and rose, all these different interactions, it creates a spring-like freshness. And I have not had one female say that they did not like Dapper Gentleman. So, in case you didn't know, the scents that we put, even the colognes that we wear, are not 100% made for us, the wearers. To me, the nutrients is for the wearer. The smell is great too, but the smell is for the people really around you. It attracts friendships, it attracts a significant other, it attracts relationships of all sorts. Shoot, my dog even likes me a little bit better when I get the beard oils in and everything. So, Dapper Gentleman is one of those ones that can't go underlooked because it says rose, geranium, and sandalwood. But honestly, it's one of those ones that smell stinking awesome, dude. And you just gotta try it. Then you have the Outdoor Bivouac beard oil that moisturizes the beard while naturally keeping flying bugs away from the face. It's got a very earthy smell. It's got the lemongrass and the other earthy, like cedar wood and things like that in there. But the whole idea is to keep it moisturized and keep bugs away from your face. I've never heard anybody try to accomplish this before with a beard oil, hence even naturally. But yeah, no, it's an awesome beard oil. And this spring, I highly recommend getting yourself a bottle. Give it a shot with a 1 ounce bottle. Once you're a believer, get yourself that 2 ounce bottle because you'll be wearing it all summer long. And our beard balms. So our beard balms coordinate with the scents of our core scents. So you got a Breaking Beard, Beard Elixir, and Dapper Gentleman. We also have a clean one that does not coordinate with outdoor bivouac because usually when you're outdoors doing man stuff outdoors, you're not really looking at styling your beard too often. But if you want to, we have Clean Beard that has just a 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒𝐑𝐈𝐍 as its scent. If you didn't have a scent in there, it would basically have that more waxy, chalky smell that you get from the beeswax. So it styles it, has 3 beard butters in there, and it has a whole bunch of other good oils to keep your beard moisturized, along with what we are proud to put in ours is raspberry oil, which helps support against the sun's rays. So we have all these interactions going on in your beard to take a 360 from root to tip approach to keep your beard looking amazing. And then we have the Best Damn Beard Butter, and it has the 3 beard butters in it, like I've shown and mentioned before. If you haven't seen them, I'll at the end of this video I will put it at the end and maybe down in the description here. It just nourishes your beard. It's one of those beard butters that it doesn't skimp. It goes a long way. It's not diluted with a beard oil by itself. It's really packed with all those nutrients that your beard deserves, and it lasts half a day or more. Not the scent, but the non-itchiness, the softness, the moisturized part of your beard can last about a half a day. So we're really proud of that one. And if you've not tried the Best Damn Beard Butter, we hope that you give it a shot. So when they are all combined, they actually support a why to take care of the beard. And it doesn't matter what your beard or activity type is. And that's what this core is supposed to do. Unlike almost any beard company that I've ever seen or heard or read about, there's not the intention with their beard oils to do something for you and or the beard, which are both one, right? So that's the idea of these beard oils, balms, and butters, to really get that 360 to really look and take care of your beard from top to bottom, root to tip, however you want to say it. So I appreciate the chat, blue collar bearded, and hope we'll be in touch more in the future here. And with all that, if you made it through that and you have any questions about our core, please feel free to add in the description. I'd love to hear your questions. Find our product. I would love to hear what it does for you. What are the benefits that you've noticed, and how has that differentiated from a previous brand or product? I don't need the name of the brand or the product. I just want to know in the context of how it's helped your beard and or skin, or the style of your beard, or the health of your beard is what I'm trying to say. I'd love to hear your comments. Please leave them down in the description, and I'll get back to you. So, story time. The coldest night of my life. So, I was in the military, and it's weird that all 3 of the coldest days of my life have been when I was in the military. But when you're in the infantry and you're in Germany and you're faced with all the extremes that I was faced with, from hot to cold, cold to hot, and from a blizzard to rainstorms to sandstorms to everything in between, it just makes sense. And I don't know if you understand the eeriness of a German winter. And it's hard to explain. When it's cold out in Germany and you're in the middle of like a field or an area where there's no cars driving by, no airplanes flying by, it's just silent. Just silent. And you hear just your breath and the whisper of the wind. It's a very eerie experience. And it brings me back to the series Band of Brothers, when those soldiers were in the foxholes, taking bombardment after bombardment in those frigid cold temperatures, with sometimes no socks on, very little clothes, or their clothes are wet, or all the above, food deprivation, you name it. And it really helped me understand one very important thing when it comes to life in general, that someone always has it worse than you, or had it worse than you, either one. So even on your worst day, it should come to mind that somebody's always had it worse than you. And if you can go with that mindset, you really can get through many things in life, in my opinion. I'm not saying everything is easy to get through, but I can say that it does help you look for the light to get through. And so during this time, we were tasked, this is when Afghanistan was going on, and Iraq was not happening yet. And we were tasked to play a part in taking over an airport. No idea why we were tasked to do this, but it was a pretty big operation. It was a whole division, I believe, that was, at least on the German, the first ID, the German part of the first ID, the mechanized part. We were tasked to basically take over an airport. And during this time, it was in the winter. It was cold. It was frigid. It was everything that you expect a damn cold winter to be. It was that fucking cold. And we were the QRF. I guess we drew the short straw. Depends on what way you want to look at it. So the whole night we were basically on top of a swamp. And this swamp wasn't 100% frozen in most areas. There were some areas that was frozen or higher ground, etc. like that. And we had full combat packs on us, equipment, ammo, etc. So some people could be carrying up between 100 to 150 pounds worth of gear, not including, their rifle or their weapon and the ammo for that, along with their Kevlar, their boots, their winter gear, and of course, the snow was about 2 feet high, so you had to truck through that too. So it was a real workout, a real experience. So once we made camp and we went through, I think about a mile from our start point to where our area of operation was supposed to be, basically. We basically sat out there for 14 hours, a little bit more, a little bit less. And this went through the whole night into the next morning. And you were in a complete shiver the whole time. The extra socks that you packed, those were already wet. And those winter boots with thermo in them, those were wet too. Everything was wet, and everything was damn cold. And I remember when I was pulling a guard, we were in buddy systems where one would be awake, one would sleep. We were manning the gun at the time, the 240, and my battle buddy, I'm not going to use his name, but he was really cold. And I could see him shivering, and he had that look on his face like it's damn cold, but colder than damn cold. Like it's really bleeping cold. And he started to really shiver. And I go, "Hey, bud, are you okay? Are you good? I'm going to go lay down and everything for the next hour, and just wake me up if you need anything, if you want to switch out and get warm or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah." And he was in a complete shiver when he spoke, which, wasn't good. So about half hour through my rest, it wasn't really sleep, it was a rest. Close my eyes and shiver and close my eyes, basically. I went back over to him to see what he was doing, and he really wasn't responsive that much. And he was so cold that he was going into shock. Cold shock, so hypothermia. It's a thing. It's a real thing. His boots were ice-cold, not like a frost, not icicle, but frosted inside. He was literally going through hypothermia, and we basically had to strip him down, put whatever we had dry and warm on him. I had his feet between my armpits to try to keep him warm, while they had a medevac come in and try to get him to bring him back to base so that they could take care of him. Needless to say, he did live, so that's a good thing. But from that night on, the night got colder. And just because of the experience, it kind of gets in your head too, of how cold, it makes you think of how cold it really is. And we kind of, we had a minimal security a parameter, and we all basically huddled backs together for the rest of the night through the morning to stay warm and pull guard. It was so cold. I didn't sleep whatsoever. And it's one of those times that if you were to fall asleep for how cold you are and wet you are, that you don't know if you are going to wake up. And it was the coldest day of my life. So, quick little thing, that we heard years later. So basically what we were trained for was to be the invading force of Operation Iraqi Freedom. And the idea was for us to take over Baghdad Airport in conjunction probably with other divisions, etc. like that. They were also talking about whispers of cross-training us to air assault teams, kind of like home side of the first ID where there's a lot more assault. But then somebody, excuse me, I'll pour a little bit more. Throat's dry today. So they were also thinking of just dropping people in like D-Day on the Baghdad airport, where they were expecting like 50% casualties or more. Then luckily, somebody in the administration at the time was intelligent enough to say, how about we just bomb the shit out of the airport and rebuild it? And then we don't lose anybody. And that's what we did. We bombed the crap out of the Baghdad airport to the point where they couldn't take off. And we didn't lose anybody, or if we lost anybody, it was a very minimal compared to what they were expecting to potentially happen. And so, so that's what we were training for. That didn't go through. We were eventually the relieving force of the invading force for Operation Iraqi Freedom 2, which, in my opinion, was a lot more of a war than Operation Iraqi Freedom 1, which was the invading force. But that's a different discussion for another day. And, so hope you like the story. Really cold. And what's your coldest day? I'd love to hear what your coldest story is. Being a person from the Midwest, growing up in northern Wisconsin, we had our share of cold days, and we used to hear stories of people going to their mailbox and not returning back to their house, and it was only like less than 50 feet away. So I'm sure there's a lot of stories out there that you've experienced or know that someone has experienced, and if you would like to share, throw them down in the description. I'd love to hear them. With that, I would love to say, thanks for stopping by for the Weekend Flex. Sunday, Dakota and I will go over our last roaster in Oregon before we move on to the next state, which is going to be California. I would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe and like button, and as we continue to build this community. And like always, stay amazing and have a great weekend. Cheers.